And then basically today we're going to go through an intro, a recap of last week's space with Sunny. We're going to talk about compassion. Then we're going to go into activities to build self-compassion. And then from there, we're going to work on some affirmation exercises. We'll go into some breathing techniques, the visualization, and then at the end, we're going to go through something called an integration period, which is basically taking everything that we've learned or felt and going through that and applying some further exercises to help us to continue something. And then at the end, we're going to discuss next week's programming and go through a giveaway. So I'm going to start with a brief introduction. So for some of you, you all know me, some briefly know me. This is our third session, did a visualization about 3 weeks ago in regards to healing the inner child and surrendering to our highest self. So about in January, I entered the space, at least the Web3 space, and I was just kind of watching and collecting other people's art. I already had a Web2 business called The Artist, which I was doing coaching for people one-on-one, mainly manifestation coaching, Reiki, shamanic work, and tarot readings for people. Now, prior to that, I would say starting around when I was 15, 16 years old, that's really when I had my first spiritual awakening, but also my first depression episode. So probably from the age of 15 to maybe 26, so about 11 years, I was getting diagnosed with chronic depression. So I'd be okay for a bit, and then I'd fall deep into these depressions for literally 6 months to a year at a time. So around that time, I began to do like spoken word. That was my form of therapy. And then from there, I went into a university at 16. And at that time, I began to further perform. I was working with nonprofits when I was at a university. And once I graduated, I continued to work with nonprofits, specifically in regards to mental health. Like, how do you work through that with your spirituality combined with your creativity? So the thing is, at that time when I was younger, or this last 12 years, I didn't know that I had so much trauma because trauma was normalized for me. So when I was a child, and I'm going to share this, just be vulnerable so that we can build some more trust together and to encourage everyone to kind of just sit and think about some things. And of course, I'm leading it, so I want you all to know who's actually leading it and why I'm leading it and what's the purpose behind it, because it's all correlates to compassion. So when I was a child, I grew up in like East LA, and then I grew up in Inglewood. And around that time, everyone who was around me that was an adult was either an alcoholic or was on drugs. So that's the environment that I grew up in. It wasn't very stable. So I had so much trauma within me. I was physically, emotionally, and sexually abused for like 10 years. And then once I was 21 and I graduated from the university, I had this second big awakening, and that led me down the path of meditation. And once I got to meditation, that led me to Oprah and her Super Soul Sundays, which is it's a podcast where she invites like some of the top leaders in the world. And what I noticed is majority of them meditated. So that's what really pushed me down this path. Then I learned Reiki. Then I learned a bunch of other healing modalities. And then 2 years ago, that's when I formed The Artist. So it's literally everything that I've learned from my own journey, and I've made tools out of them, right, from other modalities. to help other people so that they can find the healing in their own path, right? I'm just a facilitator. That's all it is. So that's the reason why I actually created my company, out of compassion. So if anyone else would like to come up to the stage, please do so. And Millie, if you want to introduce yourself briefly to any new people in here.
Good evening, everyone. I think most of you here know me, but I'm here on this journey not only with Alyssa, but with all of you in diving deeper into being more mindful. And the focus that we had set for this month is empathy and compassion. And we had a great talk with um, wellness coach, mindset coach Sunny Joe last week. So I'm excited to now dive into the visualizations that Alyssa has come up with to further strengthen some of those ideas and practices.
Great. So now we're just going to go into compassion. Just do a brief recap of last week, right? So technically, there are 3 different types of empathy which lead to compassion, right? So the first one would be cognitive. So that's knowledge. That is understanding what other people are thinking in a certain situation. And the second one is going to be emotional, right? That's through emotion. You feel with them. Now, the third type, which leads us to empathy, compassion, that is thinking, feeling, and then adding the inspired action that we take forth. So with that frame in mind, right, it allows us, right, being compassionate allows us to penetrate into deeper layers of intimacy. So self-compassion is our first step, because if we can be compassionate to ourselves, then in turn we can be compassionate to other people. And we can only go as deep with others as we go with ourselves. So keeping that in mind throughout this whole hour, as we go further and further down this path together, whether you're in the beginning, the middle, or closer to the end, on this journey, it's good to remember this. So self-compassion to me is like self-discipline, right? So having self-compassion is also holding yourself accountable in the best way, right? So if you mess up on something, or you perceive yourself to mess up with something, it's saying, yes, I messed up on this, and I'm going to take the steps to heal through acknowledgement, accountability, and love. And if you were to take that a step deeper, the more compassionate you have for yourself and the way you're able to reparent yourself, you basically are able to form habits in regards to self-trust with self. And the more you can trust yourself, the more all these other things expand. So I want you all to, if you have time or if you have a notebook or any sort of online doc, if you want to all do this exercise with me, it helps get into the subconscious mind and kind of see what's going on there. We're going to start it now, and then I want you to hold off on it, and then we're going to revisit it after the guided meditation. So I'm going to repeat a phrase, and I want you to not think about it, just straight up free write. Okay, so fill in the blank. So the first thing that I'm going to say to you, right, it's going to be an affirmations exercise. And this is what I have to say, and I want you to fill in this blank right here. When I think about myself, I am. I want to repeat it again. When I think about myself, I am. Fill in that blank and then add because. So when I think about myself, I am blank because blank. So I'm going to give you a minute to kind of write that down or type that out. And I want you to hold on to that. And when you're ready, we're going to begin some breath work. So take a minute right now to get yourself comfortable best you can. And after a minute, we're going to start the breath work and move into the visualization. We will now begin. Take a deep breath in through your nose for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold that for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to push everything out. Keep pushing and pushing. Close your eyes and allow yourself to come back to your center. This meditation is a direct act of self-compassion. And we're going to take another deep breath in through the mouth for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold it. And push it all out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to take a huge inhale through your nose, but this time a white light comes in. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to hold that within us. Allow that light to fill the heart center. You're going to push it all out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do this 2 more times. We're going to take another deep breath in through the nose, pulling that light in, that white light all the way in. The white light is filled with knowledge and healing energy. And you're going to push it all out, and I want you to imagine black smoke leaving your mouth. Keep pushing and pushing until you can't push no more. Now this is the final breath we're going to take in. So another one in through the mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're holding that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pushing it all out of the system. Let it all go. I want you to imagine a green light coming from above your head. This green light is vibrant, organic, and moving down toward your crown chakra. The green light moves through your forehead, releasing tension, overthinking, self-sabotage, and unwanted programming. This green light is soothing and refreshing. The green light begins to move down your eyes, through your ears, through your cheekbones, releasing any tension. And you're going to take another deep breath in through the mouth. This time you're pulling this green light into your mouth. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that green light in your mouth. And you're going to exhale powerfully, pushing out. The green light continues down your throat, cleansing you of any past betrayals, any unspoken words, and any pain. This green light is beginning to continue and move through your cells and your tissues. It's releasing your shoulders, and bringing calm, tranquility into your body. This green light continues into your heart center, and you begin to feel at peace as you know you are safe. And all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. This green light continues down through your arms and out through your hands and pulsates. As the green light continues to move through your stomach area, into your lower chakras, down to your hips, into your knees, down to your ankles, all around your feet. And you see a black tar dripping out of the bottom of your feet into the ground. Allow the green light to expand 2 feet out, and then 4 feet, 8 feet, 12 feet, 24 feet, all through your neighborhood, all through your state or country, moves all the way around all the oceans, all around the earth, and now the galaxy, and connects us all. When you are ready, I'd like you to stand up in your mind, and as you look around, you realize that you are not in the place where you started, but you are somewhere familiar. You feel calm and at ease and a bit excited to go on this journey back to South. Look around the room. What do you see? How do you feel? What do you smell? When you're ready, take a step forward. And with each step that you take, you go deeper and deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind. You begin to spot a red door in front of you. This red door is wooden and it shines bright. You can feel the energy pulsating from the door. And you begin to take a step forward and another step and another step until you are close to the handle. You begin to hear the waves, calm waves. You decide to reach for the doorknob. You realize it's locked. So you take your hand and you reach into your right pocket. You pull out a golden key. You realize that you had the key to open this door the whole time. This key is the beginning of your freedom. You fit this ancient key into the door and you turn. You open the door slowly. And as you open this door, you realize that there is a translucent mirror that stands between you and your next reality. You see yourself in this mirror, your current state of being. Allow yourself to feel any emotion, any sensation in the body. Now I want you to acknowledge it, but just observe it. Continue to look at yourself through this mirror. How are you standing? Or what are you wearing? Are you smiling? Is it difficult or is it easy? I want you to take another deep breath in through the nose now. And you're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're exhaling powerfully through the mouth. And as you exhale, the oxygen pushes through this mirror. And the mirror begins to act like water. It is moving. And you begin to see fragments of yourself dissipate. You begin to step through this mirror. And this energy. And as you move through the old place, your foot steps onto some sand. And then the rest of your body enters this beach. It is a bright, sunny day. It's not too hot and it's not too cold. You can feel the wind on your skin. And you can hear the waves. And every wave that you hear crash begins to rattle your nerve system. Now you take another deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose powerfully. And another one in through the nose and out through the nose powerfully. When you are ready, begin to walk down the beach toward the water. Take a step and release the old. Take another step and release any judgments you're holding. And continue to release as you get closer and closer to the shoreline. There are trees everywhere. You realize that you're somewhere tropical. You're in the Bahamas. The sand is fine and soft. And the sun is activating your heart center. As you continue down the way, you see a woman walking toward you. She is wearing all white. And she has a turban on. She has gold around her wrists. And she has a necklace hanging from her neck. The necklace is holding a pink crystal. You cannot see her face, but you can feel her. It feels familiar. She gets closer and closer to you. She takes her necklace off and she hands it to you. The crystal is in the palm of your hands, and you can feel the energy. It is a rose quartz, a crystal for self-love and self-compassion. You put the crystal over your heart, and she smiles at you. Take the next minute to ask her any question that you'd like to. When you are satisfied, thank her and say your farewell. As she begins to continue to walk away from you, feel at ease. You're getting closer and closer to the water. Your feet are now touching the wet sand above. And the water begins to touch your feet and your ankles. And you go deeper to your knees, all the way to your hips. This water is cleansing you. And cleansing your subconscious mind. Begin to check back in with your body. Do not judge, but just observe. If any part in your body is tense, allow it to be. All thoughts now you're seeing drift away from you. Any words, any people, any worries that you have now are becoming bubbles, and they are flying away. You see the word worry, and it floats away. You see the word stress, and it floats away. You see the word love, and that floats away. These thoughts come and go, so allow them to go. I'd like you to get this crystal, hold it in your hand, and begin to use it as if it is a magic marker that can cut through all time and space. Lift it up and carve a square in front of you, big enough for you to walk through. As you see this pink square appear in front of you, you push through it. The other side of this dimension falls away. Pink light flows out of it and into your heart center and into your mind. And you begin to enter this pink area. You have left the beach. Now you are in a room that is completely pink. Is a bright energy that is pulsating. This pink light is deepening your relationship with yourself and with yourselves and with your heart. And I'd like you to give thanks to it, to yourself for being here. Now in this room, you begin to see in front of you a moment where you did not have compassion for yourself. Allow this memory to come forth and play out in front of you, knowing you are safe and you are removed from it. I want you to press play and allow it to play out like if it was a movie. But now this memory is surrounded by this pink light. As this memory continues to play out, I want you to walk up to yourself, to that old version of you, and begin to comfort that version of yourself. As if it was a friend, or a family member, or a child. Take the next minute to assure and comfort this version of yourself that everything is going to be okay. Now ask this version of yourself for any advice that it has. Ask it how you can be more compassionate to yourself in this current time frame. And now, give yourself a hug and see this pink energy move from your heart center to your past heart center, and then around the both of you, synchronizing these two memories, these two versions of self. Now say goodbye and move through and back through that portalway back to the beach, and walk back up to that door and open the door and come back to that room. And when you are ready, come back into your physical body now. Begin to wiggle your fingers and move your shoulders. Roll your neck. Move your feet. And take the next minute to open your eyes and come back. All right. So, how's everyone feeling? Does anyone want to step up, come to the stage, and talk about it? We will be entering the integration period now. And if no one wants to talk about it, that's okay too. I'm just leaving the floor open for anyone. At the top, you see a pinned tweet, and this is a giveaway. So if we reach 27 retweets, likes, and then people have to tag 2 people. If we hit 27, I'm going to be giving away a free one-on-one distant Reiki session. So it doesn't matter where you live, it'll be a one-on-one with me. Or you have the option to do a one-on-one hour-long tarot reading regarding whatever you want that to be. It can be career-based, it can be love, it can be any question you have. So if we hit 27, we're going to run that. And if not, then it's going to be pushed to 2 weeks from now. So next week is going to be a session with Sunny, and she's going to cover empathy a bit. And then the following week, I will be doing another visualization. And then the last Wednesday of August, we will be doing a combined one. So let me hold on one second. So now we're going to revisit that affirmation exercise. So if you all have that out, whatever statement you wrote down, we're going to work through it. So I'm going to have you guys do this one more time to see how the energy shifted. And anyone who wasn't in here for that, basically I'm going to repeat a statement and you're going to fill in the blank without thinking too much about it. So again, this affirmation exercise, it goes like this. When I think about myself, I am blank because blank. So again, I'm going to repeat that. When I think about myself, I am blank because blank. So you have the one before that, the visualization, and then you can do a new one right now, because we want to see if anything shifted for you all. So finally, when I think about myself, I am because blank. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to see if it shifted from before to after. And then for people who weren't here, we're just going to see if it is anything negative or something kind of something less favorable. We're going to work with it together. So we're going to go from something maybe negative or middle ground, and we're going to transmute that energy to something positive. And then this is an affirmation that you can use daily. I actually recommend anyone doing this in the mirror. Mirror work is fantastic. Does anyone want to try it out, their affirmation? If not, then I can give you an example of one that I wrote many years ago, and then we're going to transmute that together. And also, there is a blank form, right? There is a link to the blank form. Hold on, I had to look for it. That if you don't feel comfortable doing it on here, you can submit it through that form, and we will have no idea who submitted it. So if that's more comfortable for you. So the one that I have from a few years ago was, I am quiet because no one cares to listen to me. So that was a core belief in my subconscious programming many years ago. And then I transmuted that, or we can transmute that together to something positive, more like, I used to be quiet because I didn't believe anyone cared about me. And now I speak my truth with confidence because I am worthy of being seen and heard. So that, that shifts the energy. And that is a statement that someone can use in the morning or really at any time. But really, 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after is going to be the best bet just because you are falling into that sleep energy or that sleep, your brain waves are dropping. So at that time, it's easier for us to access the subconscious programming. And that's why meditation is really important or can be very important in shifting the way we think about ourselves. Now, I have two more things that you all can do to help build compassion. And the second one is besides the affirmations, the second one you can do is if you have like a voice, like every single one of us has a voice, right, in our head that is not us, right, but it's what other people have told us we are. And the first thing you can do is acknowledge that that is not you. It's part of your ego and creating distance between that, right? So the thing that I like to do is I like to name the voice. So my voice, my ego, um, his name is Jackson, right? So anytime I'm going to go do something new and Jackson starts to tell me why I can't do something new, I literally respond to it and be like, all right, Jackson, I appreciate your opinion. I respect your opinion, but I do not agree with your opinion. So by you telling me this, that means that I need to go deeper into myself and figure out what I'm not giving to myself for you to react this way, right? So I say that and I say, thank you for your opinion, love and light to you, but I'm going to do this anyway. And by doing that, you're creating the distance, but you're also showing compassion to that quote unquote part of you or that ego part of you that wants to protect you. And if you do that, then you'll kind of feel like least resistance to the thing that you're trying to do. That's a trick that I tell clients to do. Um, and it does really create that distance. And it also shows you how you're able to like talk to yourself nicely, right? That's another trick. And then again, number 3 would be meditation. Meditation is literally a form of self-compassion because it allows you to take that action to dedicate that time to yourself. And it doesn't have to be this 20, 30 minutes that we did together. It can literally be a few seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is, as long as you are committed to that time to yourself. If anyone has any questions, please come up. If not, then I can either talk about some other things or we can close out the room. And just so you all know, we are doing this every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Next week will be Sunny's, and then the following week after that will be another visualization meditation. And I believe the last Wednesday it's going to be combined. So this month we're focusing on compassion and empathy. Nice. Metaverse, would you like to speak?
Hi, Alicia. Just wanted to say hello to you and everybody else, and thank you for this space. And great to first one that I see, first one that I check out from these kind of spaces that you do. So it was really cool. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for showing up. And I also want to commend everyone who came to this for showing up for yourself, but also for your community. That is the biggest thing. All right. So I don't see anyone coming up to the stage. Oh, okay, we do have someone. Yes, yes. Let's see. Hold on. 1 second. Hey, Shannon. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
I just during the meditation, some thoughts that went through my head from the very beginning with the green light that started, and then like when you were talking about like breathing it in, like I don't know why this popped into my head, but just like all of a sudden it was like everyone in this room that's doing this, like not one of us are seeing like the same shade of green or like the same brightness of light. And the same thing with like the pink box. It's like not all of us are seeing the same shade of pink or like carving the same size box. And I feel like that is something with like little self compassion that like comparing yourself to others, like we all have our own like struggles and like hardships that we're trying to work through, like not this is something that I struggle with is like not comparing. Sorry, I'm gonna get emotional.
Definitely allow yourself to. This is a safe space.
Like comparing myself to others and um just like wishing that like I was at like a further point in my life and like getting mad at myself for like not starting college earlier, like when I was younger, and like I don't know, that those are just thoughts that like ran through my head, and like how easy can it for everyone to like compare yourself to others and not show yourself the compassion that you show your friends when they're going through a similar situation, like or being hard on themselves.
Thank you for sharing. I truly appreciate it. Those are definitely some hard emotions to come up, but at the same time, it just like it kind of unites us all at the same time. Because I know there's people in this room who probably had some sort of emotional experience. So I just want you to know that you're heard and felt. And I'm so grateful that you are here. And this is what these spaces are about, right? Showing up for self. And in turn, when we show up for self, we can actually show up for other people.
Right. That's something that we had talked about during the last week with Sunny was just um talking to yourself, that inner voice in your head, right? The same way that you would talk to others. And that was something I tried to put into practice this week. And then even when you mentioned the mirror exercises, right, that's something I actually tried to put into practice because she said start with 5 minutes. And I remember just sitting there thinking about like how, even 30 seconds would like be super uncomfortable, right? So I worked myself up to like, I think like 3 minutes of being able to do it. So I'm still working on, um, being able to allow myself to feel without that sort of judgment, and kind of trace where that judgment is coming from. And it's definitely coming from a place of, like Shannon just said, comparison to uh peers and family around me and where they're at.
Yeah, mirror exercises are, I feel, very uncomfortable, but it is small steps. I think I learned about mirror exercises through Oprah, actually, because she for forever she used to struggle with her weight. So she came up with this mirror exercise where you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself three things, or you tell yourself three things. And the first one is you look yourself in the eyes and you literally say, I am sorry, right? And you let you just keep repeating that. And you know, a lot of people get emotional, and I've gotten emotional with that. And then you go, you say, I forgive you for, and you let it come out. And you keep doing that until you're able to release whatever you're forgiving yourself for. And then the final one is, thank you so much, and I commit you to, and then you allow that to come forth. So that's a very powerful mirror exercise that you can do. It is surprisingly hard to look yourself in the eye in the mirror. Keys come through.
Yeah, I wanted to say something to Shannon real quick. Shannon, you need to tell that self-doubt to take a back seat, because you are one of the most sweetest. I've known you for probably 2 years now on like social media, and you have been one of the sweetest people I have ever met. And you are such a hard worker, and you have been busting your ass. Like, sorry for the French, but busting your ass for like a really long time and crushing it. And there's nothing to even be remotely upset about. You are on your way to a wonderful, special place, and you are a beautiful soul that I am so thankful to know. I mean, this was even before, this was a long time ago. You know, you hopped in and we were able to you know, interact and stuff on social media, and it was awesome. And from day one, you've been an absolutely super driven person, and I'm proud of you and how far you've come. And do not compare yourself to others, because comparison is the thief of joy. And the only person you can compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. And you every day get better and better. You're always coming in the health spaces, talking about calories you've burned and miles you've walked and all this stuff. And there is no need in any scenario in your head to ever feel like you need to be better or anything. You are right where you're supposed to be. And when you start thinking outside of that, tell it to take a backseat. Tell it to be quiet, because that is not what's actually happening. Okay. That's what I wanted to say, because when I just heard you say that, I just needed to come up here and talk and just kind of give you a little bit of a realignment, because you are so much more than that.
Thank you. I have had a really rough few days, so I feel like this meditation kind of just brought all of those emotions forward, and so thank you. I really needed to hear that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't like that. I just started feeling terrible, and I started DMing you. I was like, let me just hop up here, because I get so out of it because of these spaces. And Alyssa, thank you so much for this type of stuff. And this is great, just having this place to come up and talk. And I think that's something that, the world needs, let alone, a community. So I appreciate you, working hard and busting your ass too. I know a lot of prep goes into this, and it doesn't go overlooked. So I really appreciate you.
Thank you all for coming through. I appreciate you all. Do come through next week as well with Sunny, and then the following week to do these more. And these tough emotions are going to come up. Meditation is really interesting because it allows everything to come to the surface, whether that is something very uncomfortable or something terrific. It doesn't, it's all a part of the journey. Just remember, healing is a part of the journey. It's not straight up, it's not straight down. It's up, down, and all around. And we'll all continue to do that until we don't live anymore, really. But that's beautiful because that means there's growth, right? There's duality there. There's that yin and the yang. So if anyone, so again, just going to say it one more time. We are running that giveaway at the top. 27 is the lucky number. You have to retweet, like it, and then tag 2 people. And if I don't think we're going to hit 27 today, so we're going to push that to 2 more weeks. And then one lucky person gets to get a one-on-one. So love you all. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me in my DMs. And you all have a wonderful night. If no one else wants to talk, I'm going to close out this lovely room. All right. Have a great night, you all.